Hey guys, it's AJ from Design the Everything. Today we will be doing an advanced tutorial on the Loft tool by request of one of the viewers. Now, he mentioned making a part fan. I'm pretty sure he's talking about a fan for a 3D printer similar to this one. This was a design I took from Thingiverse when I was just starting on my first RepRap 3D printer. You can tell it got melted by falling onto the by falling off and getting hit by the hot end. But I think the idea is have a fan on the back and then some sort of funnel to make the air go where he wants it. And if this isn't what you wanted, I'm sorry, but I'll still show you the Loft tool. So let's go over here to Fusion. Now I did a quick overview of the Loft tool in my last video when I made the fuzzy cat toy, but it was really brief. So I'm going to go into more detail here. I'm not going to make whatever we design here. I'm not going to actually print it. I just want to show you all the details on this. First thing we need to do is create profiles. This is what's going to determine the shape of our loft. So the fan, we're going to start off with a center rectangle, and I'm going to do that on the bottom plane here, right in the center. Those cooling fans are normally 40 millimeters, so 40 by 40. I'm going to hit stop sketch. There's our first profile. I'm now going to do another plane here. So I'm going to do an offset plane, and I'm going to go up some. Let's go 20 millimeters. So that's just a construction plane. On that, I'm going to hit the line tool, and now I'm making a sketch on that line. So I'm going to come out to the side. I'm going to make a line here and hit stop sketch. I can use that line to make another plane. I'm going to hit construction, plane at an angle, and I'm going to click on that line. And let's go 45 degrees. Let's go 45 degrees. There we go. 45 degrees. Hit OK. Now we have a plane at an angle, which I can do another sketch on. This time I'm going to do a circle. So circle, circle by center. Click on that plane. And I'm just going to make a circle wherever I want. Let's make it smaller. Up there. Stop sketch. All right, so now if we go into the Loft tool, create Loft, click on the first profile and the second profile. That is a loft. So this is the default setting, the most basic way to do a loft. You'll see that it makes a straight line from the first point to the second point, which that might very well work for what he wants to do. There's a couple other things we can do now that we have this first loft built. If we come over here to the Loft menu, you'll notice a couple things here. Let's first look at this where it says free. That is the ending condition. You can set the continuity between on how these match up. So if we go to direction, so now it's making sure that these guide rails are perpendicular to that surface, and this surface down here. So we can actually adjust that and change how it sees the continuity, and that'll change our shape ever so slightly. If you go too far, it'll freak out because you have a weird surface here. It would be looping back around on itself. Lofts can sometimes be a little bit fickle, especially when you have sharp curvatures. If you're ever doing a loft, try to make everything as gentle as you can. Otherwise, you'll run into issues. So go that back. We also have this arrow here, and that changes like how far it waits before it starts trying to do the curve. Again, if you go too far, it'll throw you a warning and it'll break everything. So let's bring this back down to 0. Oops, too far. There we go. And let's just go ahead and go back to free. So there's back how we originally started. You can also grab these guide rails here and move the guide rails. And again, that'll just change how your shape looks. On more complicated parts, that'll probably make a bigger difference. All right, so I'm going to close out of this loft though, and we're going to do something a little bit cooler, a little bit more advanced. So I'm going to do a center rail from this point to this point here. The center rails have to be going through the center of each of your profiles here. That is why I made the rectangle and the circle by their center point. There's another type that work almost exactly the same, where you go, you do one corner or multiple corners, but it works exactly the same. You just define more edges. So I'm going to make another sketch, and I'm going to do it on the plane that goes through the center points here. So I'm going to click there. I'm going to go up to Sketch, and I'm going to find the spline tool. I'm going to make a point in the middle somewhere and click back on the center point. So now, and I'm going to hit right click, okay. So now we can go to the Loft tool. If we click on our first profile and then our second profile, we can go back over here and choose centerline. And then as our centerline, we can select this. So you see what that did to our shape there? So now, instead of going the shortest possible route from center to center, it followed our path here. So that's probably a lot more what you're looking for to make a fan duct. So I'm going to hit OK. Let's go ahead and do one more loft. You could have made these shapes hollow to make a shell going through here so that the air could travel through, but let's go ahead and make that as a second loft. So I'm going to hit Sketch. I'm going to click on the this surface right here, this plane, and let's go ahead and make a square or a rectangle by center on that. So this will be where the air comes out. And then I'm going to hit Stop Sketch. I'm going to go back down here. I'm going to hit Sketch, Circle, Circle by center. Click on this, oops, try that again. We'll circle by center and click on this bottom sketch here, or the bottom surface. We'll do a new sketch for the air to go through. Hit OK. And let's use the same center line as we did before. So we're going to go to Sketches, and I'm going to hit the light bulb here for our center line. That light bulb just lets us see that sketch and lets us use it again. So you can also do lofts as a subtractive measure, and that's what we're about to do. So I'm going to click on my first profile and my second profile, and so that's it without the rail. Let's go ahead and put it center line on the rail, and now it automatically knew that it should be doing this as a cut. You can go down here, you can change it from a join to a cut. You could have it as a new body or an intersection where just where they meet gets left. So, but we want to cut, and you can choose which objects to cut if you would like. And we'll get through there. That could be a fan duct now, with some mounting screws and maybe a little bit more thought put to it. Now, a few notes on the loft. You can do as many shapes or as many profiles as you want. Again, like I've said, you have to be really careful on the curvature. If your curvature is too sharp, Fusion 360 will freak out and not be able to generate the loft. Lofts can also be a little bit fickle if you're going back and editing the previous profile. So if you do that, make sure you save early, make sure you save often, and wait as long as you can before you actually do your loft. Otherwise, you might break things later. The center line doesn't necessarily have to be on a two-dimensional sketch. You can do that in 3 dimensions with a 3-dimensional sketch and come up with a much cooler, more useful shape. Lofts are really a great way to take fairly simple profiles and come up quickly and easily with a really neat, organic-looking, professional-looking model that you can print or CNC out. Thank you for watching. Remember, this video was requested by a viewer. If you have a specific request, leave it down in the comment section, and I will try my best to get to it as quickly as possible. This was made the same day as his request, so I can't guarantee that all the time, but I will try. If you like the video, please hit the like button. And if you want to see the rest of my videos as they come out, please subscribe. Thank you.